Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Entrepreneur, and if you live in Seattle, you may be getting a pay raise if you are an Uber and Lyft driver, and a substantial one at that. According to the article by MyNorthwest.com, Seattle rideshare fees could spike under latest council proposal. What is this proposal? Well, let's take a look. Seattle rideshare companies are urging riders to speak up in opposition to council actions that will raise the service's fees. And I'm going to mention that, comment about urging riders to speak up. Let's hold on to that for a minute. The Seattle rideshare industry could take a hit if the city council pushes forward its latest proposal, and that means drivers' wallets too. Quote, "We are told today that City Council President Bruce Harrell is going to introduce a resolution that would raise the per-mile rates for rideshares," Uber Regional Public Affairs Manager Caleb Weaver told Jason Rantz. "It would nearly double those rates to $2.40 a mile. That's going to have a significant impact on the riders of Seattle. It's going to price a lot of people out, particularly people who rely on the affordability of Uber and the ability to use Uber Pool." Yeah, Uber Pool. I'm really concerned about that. "This proposal could take that away." Well, good. We don't need Uber Pool. Uber Pool sucks. Everyone thinks it sucks. Even those who use it thinks it sucks. Seattle council members are considering a move to regulate rideshare fares in a similar manner as taxis. Both Uber and Lyft have a base fare of $1.35 in Seattle. The council could drive that higher. Some argue that drivers are not paid well enough, which they aren't. Whether or not that's true depends on which drivers you talk with. No, that's pretty much all drivers. I think even the drivers who make a lot of money, even if they brag about oh, I make this much money, they're driving 80 hours a week. I mean, come on. Honestly, to those people who are driving 80 hours a week and making really good money, look me in the eye and tell me, oh, you wouldn't be happy to work half that time and make the same amount of money? Yeah, really, come on. And yeah, I know I just threw some shade at some people. That's what I do sometimes. Some report earnings as high as $30 an hour. Yeah, it's possible with Surge, but remember, Uber's taking that away. Uber ran a study and reports that the average driver earns about $19 to $21 per hour before expenses. Yeah, before expenses. MIT ran those same numbers, and after expenses, it was $8.15 or something around there. So, yeah. In any case, Weaver argues that the council's approach is an unenlightened view of how rideshare works. Drivers' earnings potential is based on when and how often they choose to drive. Unlike taxis, rideshare drivers are in control of their schedules and service. City officials, however, haven't heard such facts from people like Weaver. Quote, "Right now, the only people the city council are hearing from are a small group of drivers working with the Teamsters and the Teamsters themselves. It's going to take the city council hearing from the 800,000 riders in Seattle to know it's a bad policy." Oh, ho, ho, ho. No. No, you get 800,000 people and you get them in front of a stand. They're like, "Are you paid well?" "I think I'm paid well." "How would you feel about making $2.40 a mile?" "I could be paid better." No one's going to argue against the pay raise. Are you kidding me? Let's see here. Quote, "I do know that the Teamsters have been working for years to push rideshare drivers off the road and push companies like Uber out of Seattle. If you look back, they supported a cap of 150 drivers. They sued to kick us out of town. They were behind the collective bargaining ordinance passed in 2015. This is another step by the Teamsters to force us off the road and out of town." I actually am not aware of the 150 driver cap, in all fairness, so I'm just stating that up front. I don't know about that, and I will be looking that up, and maybe I will make a follow-up video to confirm what I find, because that sounds pretty bad. The 2014 that allows rideshare drivers to join a union is still locked up in court battles, which I kind of expected, and it's going to be kind of hard to unionize, because again, independent contractors, not employees. Seattle Rideshare Voices. The issue came to light last week at a city council committee meeting. Seattle rideshare companies like Uber and Lyft were not notified that such an issue was being discussed. Nothing was on the agenda or announced in advance. Somehow, however, the Teamsters were well aware of it. Quote, "Even worse than the fact that there wasn't notice to the rideshare companies, there are a whole lot of drivers who know the facts and are very concerned about what the city council might do that is going to impact their business, and they weren't notified." Well, Uber and Lyft has not played fair for years, so why would the city council play fair with them? I mean, should they have been invited? Absolutely. I mean, yeah, Uber and Lyft should definitely be there to share their side of the opinion. I don't agree in the drivers going unrepresented. I don't agree with Uber and Lyft going unrepresented. But really, with how much, bad stuff Uber and Lyft has done, why are they surprised that they kept it out? Uber and Lyft tried to sabotage those things every single time, so of course they weren't going to invite them. So the only people who spoke were 2 paid representatives from the Teamsters and the 3 drivers they brought with them. No other voices, even though there were other organizations out there with thousands of drivers. The city-level rate regulations have not been done anywhere else in the country, Weaver notes. He worries it could spread to other cities where the union represents taxi drivers. Weaver urges riders of Uber and Lyft to do a couple things. Sign an online petition in opposition of the council's proposed action, and contact their elected officials in Seattle to voice their opposition to any rate hikes or policies that treat rideshares like taxis, even though that's exactly what rideshare is. It's a taxi service. It has always been a taxi service. Heck, you want proof of that? Uber's original name was Uber Taxi. That was their original name. And then they dropped the taxi thing and they realized, oh shoot, they're going to regulate it like a taxi. No, we're not a taxi company. We're a technology company. And then once the technology company started getting regulated really heavily, like more so than usual, then it was like, oh, we're not a technology company. We're a payment service. Yeah, so this really doesn't surprise me. Now, as for Uber and Lyft encouraging the riders to contact congressmen, of course, this is a tactic that they do all the time. Let the public fight your battles for you. And in this case, the public will oppose it, because here's the thing. And I talk to every person who watches. I don't care if you're a Republican or you're a Democrat, conservative, liberal. I don't care if you voted for Jill Stein, like apparently Roseanne's sister on the new Roseanne show did. No, the thing is, I don't care how much you say you care about people. I really don't. At the end of the day, what you care about more is saving money. And you will fight Uber tooth and nail. You will complain about them. But then when something like this comes along and it's like, hey, all these concerns you have about paying the drivers better, we're going to fix them. You're going to have to pay a little bit more money. And the people are like, no. Yeah, that 70 cents a mile, yeah, I think that's enough. People don't want to pay more for their rides. And yeah, Uber Pool would be done away with because it's effectively worthless at this point. If you raise the rates to $2.40, Uber really won't be making money off that. So yeah, Uber Pool is dead. And everyone would be glad to see it go. But Uber doesn't want to because it brings in a lot of new customers. And admittingly, a lot of people who use Uber Pool eventually stop using it in favor of Uber X because Uber Pool sucks so much. Now, will this pass? I don't know. Should it pass? I think it should, but again, who knows what the implications will be. What I will say, though, is this. Uber was running at $2.40 a mile when this thing started. Heck, they were running at more than that. And they can do it again. And they should do it again. Like, in fact, if anything, this ordinance might even be a positive thing because it forces Uber to actually charge a rate which everybody makes money. Really, why is making money such a bad thing for Uber? They complain so much about how much money they're losing, and yet they won't change the percentages or the prices to actually make money. Give me a freaking break. So anyway, we're going to end that there. Best of luck to Seattle. Seriously, I hope you guys do some serious damage to Uber. If Uber and Lyft threaten to leave, you know what? Let them. Write the legislation anyway. As Texas proved, when they're gone, other companies will rise from the ashes and they will take over. Let Uber and Lyft dig their own grave. In the meantime, what about you guys? Do you agree, disagree? I would love to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy the videos I make, consider becoming a Patreon member for $1 a month. And as always, flame responsibly, and I'll see you on the Daily Rideshare. Have a good one.